Hello, it's Dirty Trucking. At my apartment. Still dealing with some shady ass shit going on. And I'm tired of them coming in here free-handedly damaging my equipment, my laptop, playing with my tablet, anything that's a computer they mess with. And when I complain about this, the management I talk to, people I try to complain about this to, you continuously try to pass this off as this is some type of mental illness I'm having. Mother, I'm not mentally ill. That's what you want people to believe to cover up this shit that you're going on. I've been watching this shit since I found out about this shit for years. This shit has been going on for years. And I'm telling you, this shit has everything to do with the lottery. You have some sort of secret gambling operation going on here. But what I never figured out is what it has to do with me. Them damaging my computer equipment, or that rental car they gave me, that code that keep popping up on the dash. I think it's rigged. I think you rigged that car for that code to pop up. And I think when that code pops up on that car, something is happening somewhere that's dealing with gambling. And more than likely, I want to say it's happening in the casino. But my laptops that you damage, I come in here and I write. And these people came in here and damaged my laptop. They did it over at Alden Towers. They destroyed my hard drive. They did something to the computer after I was filing a complaint with the Computer Crimes Division at the FBI. I left the complaint up on the computer, ran across the street to the store to go get something, came back, finished filing that complaint. After I filed that complaint, next thing you know, something happened to my laptop. I can't tell you if it was the next day or a week later, but something happened to my laptop. I went to try to sign on, said I had some corrupt files, and I had that USB drive that's supposed to correct that. Whatever they did to it, it was not able to be corrected, which meant I had to buy another hard drive. All my work, all my drawings, everything I had from the past, like when I was going to school, class assignments, dealing with my criminal justice, documents pertaining to whatever, fucking gone. Why are you coming in here doing shit because you want me to, you keep constantly wanting me to have to erase my computer. What the fuck you think on it? This shit ain't dealing with you. This shit is dealing with what you done to me. What is evidence on it? Every apartment, these motherfuckers come in and damage my fucking shit, and ain't nobody doing nothing about it. But let me tell you something. This is to your management. This is a message to everybody I've complained to. You're not going to continuously come around here telling me this some mental illness. Bitch, who you trying to say crazy? Call me crazy to my motherfucking face so I can correct you to your face. This ain't no mental illness. This is some sort of game here. This is something being deliberately done, and you've been covering it up by saying I'm mentally insane or she crazy. That's your cover up. And then when people hear that, well, she crazy. We ain't got nothing to do. We ain't finna help her with that. I'm telling you. And if you keep believing these goddamn people, you ain't gonna put a stop to this shit. And if you don't put a stop to this shit, I'm gonna believe you involved with this shit, you participating in this shit, and you've been doing this shit yourself. Agencies I complain to have been doing this shit theyself. Everybody. That's why the shit ain't stopped. If I was a well-known Arthur, I would sue the pants off this building for coming here destroying my motherfucking equipment. But because I'm just nobody around here trying to tell something that's going on, this is why they keep doing it. But mental illness, bitch, where in my medical file do I have? You can't even make that claim, bitch. You look stupid saying it. That shit ain't in my medical file. You keep talking about she mentally crazy. Motherfucker, that got to be documented. And then the only place it was documented was by the doctor that Warren Truck Plant sent me to. Which really makes y'all look really stupid because there's no prior history of that until they lied on me. And then you've been going around here talking about she mentally insane because of something Warren Truck Plant did that just happened to supposed to happen overnight. And you trying to convince people she mentally insane. Mental people have a history of mental illness in their record. And see, this is what these people don't get. How do you let people tell you somebody mentally ill or this got to be a mental issue, her complaining about shit like this? The people that's telling you that is the people that is involved with that. And I'm telling you, just like the management here, I sent a letter to management about somebody still coming in his apartment. My couch, the arm of my couch was wet. They had been putting some type of, my salt. They had been putting water over in the salt. They trampled my rug till it was dirtier than what it normally was. And all that took place. The dirty rug took place after I went down to the office and spoke to one of the management leasing ladies down there, inquiring about how much would it cost to clean the rug. The next thing you know, my rug got all these dark smears all in the rug because somebody came in here. I'm telling you, management is involved. When I moved in, the lease said I was supposed to be receiving 2 keys. She didn't give me 2 keys. This is the same lady. She did not give me 2 keys. Why is it I'm not getting what it says I'm supposed to be getting? It said on the lease I'm supposed to be getting 2 keys, but I have to ask for the key. Really, I had no need for 2 keys because ain't nobody coming in here but me. And my son, I let him in. And if he need to come here in emergency, I provide him with access. And that's another thing they've been doing. They've been using that emergency access shit as an excuse to come up in people's apartments. Ain't no emergency in here. You talking about something else. How come I start experiencing issues with my laptops when the Mega Million and Powerball is at a ridiculous amount? Every time. And I'm finna tell you what state is involved with this. And I'm finna tell you, it's California. I've always suspected California and New York. So my laptop is telling me I'm locked out because I'm putting in the wrong password. But every time I try to put in I put in my right password now. My password is right now. And the lockout is getting longer and longer, which prompted me to have to either erase the laptop, the tablet, my tablet, or send a notification to Apple because it's an Apple iPad. And I don't understand this. I've never understood this. How come Apple, when you do a reset on Apple iPad, the reset is not immediately. You got to send an Apple request. Then they send you a notification of how long it's going to take for them to verify your information and reset your own shit. The last time I did that, I had to reset it. And if you tampering with my tablet because you think erasing it is going to... I'll be down. It's going to clear out this electronic harassment noise. That's not going to work. I have erased that tablet twice, thinking it would clear it out, get rid of the noise. That noise for it to be made is something you put in there. It's a chip. It's an electronic device. It's a piece. It's something in there, and it can't be erased. Because it's programmed to make that noise. And it was something that had to be installed in that iPad before you gave it to me. And you made sure I got it. Erasing it is not going to get rid of it. There's something that's been installed in there. And to get it installed in there, you had to somebody either opened it up and did it before it got sold to me, or is you manufacturing this shit with it's already in there. Which one is it? But you like to play like I'm mentally ill. She crazy. You talking about some shit that Warren Truck Plant did. Oh, how come I wasn't mentally ill before Warren Truck Plant did that shit? How come you wasn't saying I was crazy before Warren Truck Plant did that shit? I mean, is y'all even listening to this? What kind of investigators are you? You don't even hear the shit. I'm telling you the shit and you don't even hear it. You missing the goddamn shit you need. And I'm fucking telling it to you. You don't even hear it. I'm telling you what they doing, and it's going in one ear and out the fucking other. What the fuck kind of investigators are you? I'm telling you this shit. I'm writing this shit. I'm posting videos about this shit. You don't get this shit. What the fuck are you doing? You walking around watching me like I'm the cause of this shit. These people are brainwashed. Somebody has convinced, oh, and there's something else going on. These people seem to be under the impression that I'm some type of, I don't know, let's say witch. I'm the good witch. Is that why I can't straighten this finger? Because this happened all of a sudden. I can't straighten this finger. And I used to be able to straighten this finger. I can't straighten it. And I'm doing with all my might to try to straighten this finger out. What do you think, I'm a witch? I'm not a witch. I'm not a modern day witch. But I saw a witch one day down there in Texas working at a truck stop, at a Pilot. This woman looked just like she was a witch. And this is what they do. They go and take past life events. Shit that happened to me, shit that was said, shit I said I don't like. And they start doing the shit. This is what they do. And they have got these sick ass people brainwashed and convinced that I'm the cause of all life problems. Well, if you just started doing this because of Warren Truck Plant, who was causing the shit before this lie about I was crazy came out? Who was doing it before that? You wasn't doing this shit like this before then. Oh, but you was doing some shit. I used to know this shit back in my early years. Shit you did to my family. You've been doing this to my family for a long time. You did it to my father. You did it to me, and you've been doing it to my son. Let me tell you what the state of Michigan did to my son. What they didn't do for my son. When my son was a toddler, going to daycare, Slumberland Daycare. This is a true story. Because I have the photos of his ear taken by a professional forensic photographer of what that man did to my son. My son was a toddler. I had him in daycare, going to Slumberland Daycare here in Detroit. My son's ear had all the skin burned off of it. And let me tell you what, he said happened. Now my son a toddler. He's not in elementary school yet. He's going to daycare. This boy's little. I'm in my 20s. When I seen my son and what that man had done to my son, you know what I want to do to that motherfucker. And the friends I had that day had to stop me because I went up there. I was going to get that motherfucker. You hurt my son. That's a baby. So let me tell you what happened. And I'm still wondering about that. What else did that man do to my son? My son was telling the story that, I said, how did your ear get burned? He said he woke up, wandered into the kitchen, and the guy was sitting there with a spoon, heating up something that looked like sugar, and he poured it down his ear. The shit burned all the skin off my son's ear. I know it had to be painful. I know he had to holler. I know it had to hurt. That's what my son said. And I kept asking my son, did that man do anything else to you? Did he touch you? Did he do anything else to you? He told me no. But as a mother, as a parent, and I'm 53, I still think about that. And I'm wondering if my son was lying to me about that. Did that man touch? It was a Chaldean. I contacted the state of Michigan. Let me tell you what these bastards did. This is how long the state of Michigan has been allowing people to torture me and my family with this shit. This shit been going on long before I found out about it because of Warren Truck Plant. You did it to my son. You hurt my baby. That's what they did. Hold on. Sorry about that. Let me come back in the light. They hurt my baby. You sit up and let a daycare worker, a Chaldean, hurt my baby, and the state of Michigan didn't do anything. If you think I'm lying about that, pull the paperwork. Or when I called and reported that that man burned my son's ear, let me tell you what the state of Michigan did. They came out, did their little investigation, and they let that man get off. They didn't do nothing to him. They let him continue to work there. And then you know what the man said? You know what they come up with as an excuse? A friend of mine, her name was April, bought my son a motorcycle as a little gift. It was a motorcycle, real motorcycle. You push the button and the wheels turn. You know what they said? They claimed that my son had been laying on the motorcycle, must have pushed the button, and the wheels spinning burned the skin off his ear. You know how long you got to lay there for that shit to happen? That ain't what happened. So my son ended up over April's house. Her name was April. Her little nephews was over there. They was all in the kitchen. April said she stood back and listened to my son talk about what happened. And she called me and said that's what happened. He said he had woke up and wandered into the kitchen. The guy was sitting there heating up something that looked like sugar in a spoon. And then he poured it down the back of his ear. I found out he was a Chaldean through the investigation. But the state of Michigan didn't do nothing. Just like they ain't do nothing about what Warren Truck did to me. Just like nobody did. You been doing this shit. What is this shit going on within the Morgan family? It's my family. What are you doing here? What kind of shit is this? I ain't know nothing about it. My father used to complain about that shit. Had stacks of complaints down at the Detroit Police Department. Right there on Gunston and Gratiot. Stacks of complaints. The officer even said, you got stacks of complaints down here. Because there was something going on. The police knew about it then. And that's why, for somebody that I know you knew about this shit prior to me telling you this shit, you ain't gonna get in my face acting like you don't know about this shit. You knew about this shit and you know what this shit is. How the fuck did you pick my family for this goddamn shit? What the fuck is this shit? And why didn't nobody tell me this shit was going on? Oh, so I'm supposed to be born on this earth, born into a family where they doing some secret shit? Oh, hell no. No, you ain't finna get away with this. I guarantee you that. God about to take care of this. He chose me to speak out about this. I'll be damned if you gonna label me crazy. But that's what the state of Michigan did. I've been wanting to get that off my chest for a long time. They let them hurt my baby. And my son had troubles in school, used to get picked with. He was in elementary school. 2 girls burned the back of his neck. He came home from school one day, kept having a towel around his neck. Told him to take the towel off. I see a burn in the center of his skin is burned clean off his neck. How can 2 elementary school kids, he was at Bunch Elementary, down the street from the house. Bunch, Ralph Bunch. That's where the shit happened at. When I saw that shit, I called up to the school. Principal didn't want me to come up there because he thought I was going to be irate. Because we're dealing with kids here. He said, let me talk to them. They didn't do shit either. My son had skin missing off his fucking neck for some elementary school girls. These was girls. And my son supposedly had sat there, let them light a cigarette lighter, got it so hot and laid it on the back of his neck until it burned the skin off his neck. First of all, I'm wondering how these 2 elementary school girls had a lighter in the damn school in the first place. They didn't do nothing about that shit either. These people that's doing this shit to me started doing it to my son. You hurt my son. You burned the skin off my son. I'm 53. I'm still mad about that. And I'm still walking around here at 53 wondering what the fuck else happened in that kitchen when that man burned my motherfucking son's ear that the state of Michigan let that bitch get away with. And you round here talking about I'm crazy. No, I ain't crazy. This is shit. You all are crazy to think that I'm gonna sit here and let you do this shit and I'm supposed to accept that you doing this shit. These people has turned this shit into some type of legal gambling operation. And this shit happened after that shit happened at Warren Truck Plant. I wasn't feeling none of this shit that I'm feeling until Warren Truck Plant. Everything, the root of this problem centers back to Warren Truck Plant. But prior to that, I had been noticing little shit happening. Passed it off as a coincidence. But it was them other people, the gang stalkers. You was doing that shit. But Warren Truck Plant, something else happened. You done developed something. You done found a way to do something to make me feel something. And you know when I started feeling this shit? I can pinpoint it. When they created the cell phone. When they created the cell phone, that's when this shit went worldwide. That's when this shit happened. Because while we had just landlines, I wasn't feeling none of this shit. But when that cell phone started coming out, when that cell phone came out, and then that shit happened to me at Chrysler, that's when I started feeling this shit. I could pinpoint exactly when I started feeling this shit. Warren Truck Plant did this shit. So, bitch, you ain't gonna tell me I'm crazy. Because you don't want me to tell you my response to you saying that shit to your fucking face. Because you ain't gonna like it.